So neurofeedback today was good. I tried my technique again that focuses on the little thermometer gauges instead of the show, because I realized really trying to watch the show gets me, I just get in my head, pardon me, and then my mind starts to wander. So if I put my focus on, like I did yesterday, I just chugged a bunch of water, excuse me. So now I got burps. Focusing on the reminding my brain, telling my brain that I see you. I'm unafraid. I trust you. So halfway through the session, so it's a 30-minute session, the first 15 minutes, the green one, theta something, was up really high, and he told me that means a lot of processing. I'm doing a lot of processing of information. I was like, okay. But then halfway through it dropped, and then it stayed low. And so I think that's the point where I had readjusted and was looking. So there's 4 of them, right? 4 little thermometer things that go up and down. And then, so it starts at 10 and 5 of what he's gauging. And then based on where I get it down to, that becomes the new threshold. And it can go up, it can go down. And so I did some visualization of my mind, and especially the part where I have the suppression hanging out. Envisioning that, as yucky as it may sound, the scab, the hardened part of it, that is that like protective layer. I think that's why I came up with scab, like visually, as gross as it is. And peeling back the layers, peeling it back, and knowing that like it's raw under there. It's not used to being exposed. It's not used to being seen, and just staring at it. So I did that. I trust you. I'm unafraid. I trust you. I am unafraid. And I didn't freak out when the barometer or the little thermometer went up a little bit. I still stared right at it, and I said, in my mind, I trust you. I am unafraid. So my brain, I want it to understand what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, I am not afraid of whatever is going on in there. I refuse to be avoidant anymore. I want to utilize these techniques to let my brain know that my brain and I, we're on the same team here. Same team. And I want to it sounds so silly. I want my brain to feel safe with me. So there needs to be that correlation. My brain will believe what I tell it. And I'm taking these 30-minute sessions of neurofeedback and giving myself that chance to focus in on, I trust myself. I trust my mind. I trust that my brain is doing what is going to keep me safe, and I trust that it will be things that are beneficial to me now. I trust that that will happen, and I'm not looking away. That refusal to live in fear, that my brain understands this is safe. We can take that hardened cover off. I will see you. You will be accepted for that. I see that this is happening. I trust it. I trust this process. I am unafraid. I am not afraid of what is in my mind. I'm not afraid of what might be unearthed. I'm not afraid. I'm unafraid, and I see it. I face it head on. I am unafraid. I am safe. I trust it. So, telling my brain, I trust you, and I'm not afraid. That's what I am feeding my brain. That is the brain food that is going in, and based on what is coming out of neurofeedback in yesterday's session, and then the second part of today, was very much that my brain wants to receive it, believe it, and regulate around that, which is brilliant, and I love that. So what Steve was saying to me today, now the best thing I can do for myself is incorporate that in my day-to-day. Practice it as much as I can, because I've proven to myself that I can do that. So it's not only in the times of, went over some bumps here, Houston roads, and not always great. But knowing that I can utilize this calming technique, this regulation technique that I'm working on in neurofeedback, and I need to practice it out in the world. Not only when I am in anxiety, feeling high anxiety, needing to calm down, like, sure, it'll absolutely be beneficial there. However, pardon me, it will be really, really, really helpful to use it in times where I am not in extremes, right? Which makes complete sense. I mean, like, the teacher in me is like, well, of course, you're going to reteach yourself, continue to practice, continue to study that. And then during the test, the anxiety moment, I'm able to then implement it. So it makes complete sense. And so that is going to be my new tactic I will be utilizing. So he's like, you practice it whenever you can. In sitting in traffic, give it a whirl. So I think that there will be plenty of times throughout the day-to-day where I will utilize it. And my challenge, which I am up for the challenge, is going to be to not, I was going to say overplay, but that's not the right word. To let it be enough what I have to give in that moment, as far as not in the practicing of it, not being like, oh, I didn't do that perfectly, or oh, I should have done that longer or better or different. You know what I mean? Letting the practice time be the practice time, and then not fixate and ruminate on it, because that's where some of those perfectionistic tendencies can tend to kind of like spike back up. So feeling good, go back next week, do some more work. But I'm really proud of myself, and I love being able to say that. I'm very proud of myself. I'm doing really hard things, and I am learning to trust my mind and not be afraid. And I think that those are really huge, huge things.